Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi.
To Wheel Takes Podcast. A podcast about the Wheel of Time normally, but right now we're doing the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I'm Allie, and I am on... what? I don't know what I'm talking about. I have read all of the Hunger Games except for Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
It's a very good Effie voice you're doing.
Thank you.
I like it.
I haven't
Gus.
done an Effie voice in a while.
No, I've missed
because
it.
Effie's missing.
She fucked off.
Presumed dead.
Somebody gave her a finger trap. You know those finger trap puzzles?
Oh, and she's just busy
She's
trying
just real
to solve
busy
that.
trying to get her fingers out of that thing.
I mean, honestly, those things sometimes get a little
They're tough.
scary.
They're yeah.
Like it starts to get existential after a while.
I'm Gus. I'm a first-time reader of the Hunger Games series. I have read through Mockingjay, chapter 21.
And I'm...
You already said that.
All right. Well...
This podcast only contains spoilers for what I've already read, and today that's everything up to and including Mockingjay, chapter 21.
Yes. Gus.
Yes.
Where do we leave off?
That Peeta showed up.
Peeta showed up.
He's just there now.
And Coin maybe doesn't care if Katniss dies, which is concerning because Katniss is 16 years old.
She's 17, which doesn't make it much better, but it is, to be pedantic. Coin maybe actively wants Katniss. Coin's the fucking worst, man. Not actually the worst, but she's pretty bad.
End of the series.
Unfortunately, she probably does, because she's the better alternative to Snow, who still sucks.
So you think this better world that we're building includes Coin?
Yes, it's not going to be a purely happy ending. Are you kidding me? This series is going to be like a 50-50 happy, shitty ending.
Damn.
This is agonizing in a good way.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I think Coin's going to... I don't know. I don't see how Coin's going to die. She's back at District 13. Was Hamish going to stab her? Hamish going to get her? Hamish isn't there either. Is he? I don't know. If anybody's going to get her, it's Hamish.
You don't think anyone's just going to walk up and shoot her? Shot through the heart, and you're to blame, darling, you gave love.
It's not impossible. It just doesn't seem likely.
You're telling me that in my Hunger Games, we're going to have someone this awful last to the very end?
Yes.
Okay.
Why would it not?
No, you're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right. Gus.
Yeah.
Do you have you've gotten bingo like several times at this point, right?
Well, it depends on whether or not you give me Katniss snipe something/someone, which there was some debate online about. Some people said that no, it's only a snipe if it's from a concealed position and a distant shot, which is not what I meant when I wrote down snipe. I meant difficult target to hit that is hit. But specific. I understand that is the dictionary definition of snipe. That is true. It's just not the definition I was using.
It's not like the colloquial American version of snipe.
Correct. Anyway.
That just means a good shot.
What do I need? Yeah, I have gotten arguably one bingo. Kind of need, whatever. It's bingo. We keep forgetting we're doing bingo, and then I look at the card and go, oh, look at that. So it usually comes up more in the end of the book than the beginning.
Right. Gus, do you have notes for chapter 19?
I have notes for 19 and for 20, but apparently not 21. I guess I was too busy reading.
Terrible.
Chapter 19. Coin is the fucking worst. Yeah, Hamish. Get her. Don't know what that is. Oh my god. He's trauma nodding. Good lord, Peeta. That's a fucking story and a half.
Oh, did you tell some kind of story?
Yeah, I think it's a story about Darius getting killed, and also the girl that Katniss met in the wood, Lavinia, yeah. And then I wrote, that makes sense, to be honest. Things were going too well, because everything blows up, and a bunch of people die, and Peeta goes into a rage state because, conditioning.
Yeah, things were going too well.
Can't have that. Can't have shit in Panem.
Anything else, Gus?
No.
All right. I've never really seen Boggs angry before. Not when I've disobeyed his orders or puked on him. Not even when Gale broke his nose. But he's angry when he returns from his phone call with the president.
I would be.
The first thing he does is instruct Soldier Jackson, his second in command, to set up a 2-person around-the-clock guard on Peeta.
I would.
So then he takes Katniss on a walk, and He reassures Katniss that he'll keep Peeta contained. And Katniss says, why does Coin want me dead now?
Because you've done enough, apparently, and Coin knows that you won't be used as a martyr against her, and a martyr also can't vote against her or speak against her.
It's true.
I hate Coin.
Yeah. Bog says she denies she does.
Sure.
But we know it's true, and you must at least have a theory. And he says, here's as much as I know. The president doesn't like you. She never did.
Well...
And it was Peeta she wanted rescued from the arena, but no one else agreed.
Coin just got the feeling from Katniss that Katniss hated women, and so Coin was like, this isn't going to end well for me.
It made matters worse when you forced her to give the other victors immunity.
Yeah.
But even that could be overlooked in view of how well you've performed.
Yeah. Woof.
Then what is it? Sometime in the near future, this war will be resolved. A new leader will be chosen. Boggs, no one thinks I'm going to be the leader. No, they don't. But you'll throw support to someone. Would it be President Coin or someone else? I don't know. I've never thought about it. If your immediate answer isn't Coin, then you're a threat. You're the face of the rebellion. You may have more influence than any other single person.
This is not the hallmark of a functioning democracy.
Mm-mm. Outwardly, the most you've ever done is tolerated her.
Well, yeah, she sucks.
Yeah.
But it's also possible that everybody else in the district sucks more. So, like, I don't know. I just feel like this is kind of a bit of a jumping of the gun from Coin here.
And he says, she doesn't need you as a rallying point now. As she said, your primary objective, to unite the districts, has succeeded. These current probos could be done without you. There's only one last thing you could do to add fire to the rebellion.
Fucking murder Snow?
Die.
Oh, die, right. Yeah, I forgot about the die part.
Yes, give us a martyr to fight for. But
well,
that's not going to happen under my watch, Soldier Everdeen.
That is part of her plan, which is concerning, is that part of her plan is die.
I'm planning for you to have a long life.
And Katniss is like, agree to disagree.
Yeah, and she says, why? You don't owe me anything? Because you've earned it.
Yeah, because, like, just don't die is a good enough reason.
So sweet. I mean, I feel like it's, kind of a low bar, but still, it's sweet.
Yeah, well, it's the bare minimum.
And Katniss asks when her watch on Peeta is, and they didn't put her in the rotation.
You're not doing it because
they didn't think she could shoot him.
I mean, also, if anybody is going to trigger Peeta to go into murder ball mode, it's probably going to be her. Also, she's being real shitty to him lately.
But Bog says it's fine that she should be in it. And she claims that it will be just like shooting another of the Capitol's muds.
See, now you sound like Gale.
Yeah.
So you got to stop that.
And Gale asks, do you want me to kill him?
Yeah, oh my god, this fucking part. This dude just comes out of left field like, hey, what if I just murdered the man? And admittedly, next chapter, or the chapter after, Peeta is arguing for the same thing.
Yeah.
But he's not arguing for it in a way of like, I mean, kind of he is, but I don't... This guy seems a little too ready to just murder this kid he's known for his entire life. Just a little too into it, a little too chill with this whole thing. This should at least be difficult for you to say, bro. Should not be like, step one, shall I kill him?
Yeah.
I'm concerned for everybody, with the possible exception of Madge. I'm also concerned for Madge.
Oh, and Haymitch calls and is pissed. He goes, what are you trying to do? Provoke him into an attack? Of course not. I just want him to leave me alone. Well, he can't. Not after what the Capitol put him through. Look, Coin may have sent him there hoping he'd kill you, but Peeta doesn't know that. He doesn't understand what's happened to him. So you can't blame him. I don't. You do.
Yeah, she absolutely does.
You're punishing him over and over for things that are out of his control. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a fully loaded weapon next to you around the clock, but I think it's time you flip this little scenario around in your head. If you'd been taken by the Capitol and hijacked and then tried to kill Peeta, is this the way he would be treating you?
No.
No.
Because Peeta is the best person in the world.
He is the best person in the world.
He's unrealistically good.
And Haymitch says, you and me, we made a deal to try to save him, remember? Try to remember. So now Katniss feels bad.
Yeah, I would.
Which she fucking should. Katniss crawls out of her tent. Peeta's supposed to sleep in full view of everyone else. And Peeta is stress nodding.
I thought because they start playing a game called Real or Not Real.
Yes.
Where Peeta just lists off things that he thinks did or didn't happen, and it gets really dark. I wasn't sure if that was happening yet, but yeah, he's trauma nodding.
Yeah, he's trauma nodding, and Katniss just kind of sits next to him while he does it. And Peeta says, "These last couple of years must have been exhausting for you, trying to decide whether to kill me or not. Back and forth, back and forth."
Listen, he's being sympathetic to her while he's in the most traumatized, fucked place possible.
Yeah.
I'm.
And she says, "I never wanted to kill you, except when I thought you were helping the careers kill me.
Reasonable.
After that, I always thought of you as an ally. Friend, lover, victor, enemy, fiance, target, mutt, neighbor, hunter, tribute, ally. I'll add it to the list of words I use to try to figure you out. Problem is, I can't tell what's real anymore and what's made up."
Well, yeah.
Fennec's voice rises from a bundle in the shadows. "Then you should ask, Peeta. That's what Annie does." "Ask who? Who can I trust?" So then Peeta looks at Katniss and says, Your favorite color is green?" "That's right. And yours is orange." "Orange?" He seems unconvinced.
Disgusting.
"Not bright orange, but soft.
Like cozy, happy sunset orange." And he's like, At least popsicle orange.
That's what you told me once. You're a painter.
Creamsicle
You're a
orange.
baker. You like to sleep with the windows open. You never take sugar in your tea. And you always double knot your shoelaces.
Like you're doing with that rope.
Then I dive into my tent before I do something stupid like cry. Crying isn't stupid.
That's
Katniss.
not stupid, but I understand the impulse. And yeah, so like this chapter is a lot of people actually having nice emotions and things being pretty okay, which is how I knew that shit was going to go really fucking wrong.
Right.
Because we can't be happy for more than 8 pages maximum in this series.
Jackson has devised
That's
a game.
like cumulative across the entire book series.
Right, exactly. Jackson has devised a game called Real or Not Real to help Peeta. He mentions something he thinks happened and they tell him if it's true or imagined, usually followed by a brief explanation.
Horrifying.
Most of the people from 12 were killed in the fire. Real. Less than 900 of you made it to 13 alive. The fire was my fault. Not real. President Snow destroyed 12 the way he did 13 to send a message to the rebels.
Because the guy fucking sucks.
This seems like a good idea until I realize that I'll be the only one who can confirm or deny most of what weighs on him.
Yeah. Bummer.
Peeta spends a long time considering even small pieces of information, like where people bought their soap back home. Gale fills him in on a lot of stuff about 12. Finnick is the expert on both of Peeta's games, as he was a mentor in the first and a tribute in the second. But since Peeta's greatest confusion centers around me, and not everything can be explained simply, our exchanges are painful and loaded, even though we touch on only the most superficial of details. The color of my dress in 7, my preference for cheese buns, the name of our math teacher when we were little. Reconstructing his memory of me is excruciating. Perhaps it isn't even possible after what Snow did to him.
Man, I want a cheese bun.
I know, I thought that too. I was like,
I want a cheese bun for a minute.
I want a cheese bun. But it doesn't feel right to help him try. But it does feel right to help him try. My bad. I was just thinking about cheese buns. I want a good cheesy bun. Bun of cheese.
Yum.
Cheese bun. The next afternoon, we're notified that the whole squad is needed to stage a fairly complicated propo. Look at me.
You see hey.
But apparently, Coin and Plutarch are unhappy with the quality of footage they're getting from the Star Squad.
What? Fuck them.
The obvious response is that they never let us do anything but play act with our guns.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
So today, a special block has been set aside for filming. It even has a couple of active pods on it.
Well, this isn't going to go so good.
One unleashes a spray of gunfire.
It's not.
The other nets the invader and traps them for either interrogation or execution, depending on the captor's preference.
He's not going to go the way you think he's going to go, because there's evil goo.
But
there's
it's
murder
still
goo.
An unimportant residential block with nothing of strategic consequence.
You'd think.
The television crew means to provide a sense of heightened jeopardy by releasing smoke bombs and adding gunfire sound effects.
This is so stupid.
This
in
is
a good way.
The dumbest thing. Boggs gives Peeta back his gun too, although he makes sure to tell him in a loud voice that it's only loaded with blanks. Oh, and then he watches Pollux for a long time to the point where people start to get a little nervous. And then he says, "You're an Avox, aren't you?"
Oh, this shit.
"I can tell by the way you swallow. Bleak. There were 2 Avoxes with me in prison, Darius and Lavinia. But the guards mostly called them the Redheads. They'd been our servants in the training centers, so they arrested them too. I watched them being tortured to death. She was lucky. They used too much voltage and her heart stopped right off. It took them days to finish him off. Beating, cutting off parts. Jesus, Peter."
He's very, very blasé about this.
"They kept asking him questions, but he couldn't speak. He just made these horrible animal sounds. They didn't want information, you know? They wanted me to see it." And then everyone's stunned.
They just sit there like,
and he
what
just
the
asks,
fuck?
"Real or not real?"
Like, we don't know, dude. None
Real
of us was there.
Or not real? Real, says Boggs. "At least, to the best of my knowledge, real."
Jeez.
And Peter sags, "I thought so. There was nothing shiny about it."
Shiny. Oh, yeah, because that's actually kind of cool, because it goes back to when we first saw somebody with, through Katniss' eyes, when she was Tracker Jacker and everything was shiny.
Yeah.
It's kind of a convenient little trick of the trade.
Ugh. Katniss goes over and has like a big old hug with Gale where she presses her face into his armor on his chest.
Don't hug him.
We finally know the name of the girl we watched the Capitol abduct from the woods of 12. The fate of the peacekeeper friend who tried to keep Gale alive. This is no time to call up happy memories of remembrance. They lost their lives because of me. I add them to my personal list of kills that began in the arena and now includes thousands. When I look up, I see it has taken Gale differently. His expression says that there are not enough mountains to crush, enough cities to destroy. It promises death. Unnerving on a 18-year-old.
Boy.
Cressida calls action. They go down the street. Gale hits the pod on purpose. They take cover. All these bullets sweep back and forth.
Everything goes wrong. There's an extra pod. It's all bad.
He needs close-up shots, even though Cressida needs close-up shots, even though Boggs ordered them forward. And they take turns reenacting their responses.
Yeah, that's never going to go well, man. That's just a shame.
Mm-hmm. We know it's supposed to be serious business, but the whole thing feels a little ridiculous.
Yes.
Especially when it turns out that I'm not the worst actor in the squad.
Which is saying something.
Not by a long shot. We're all laughing so hard at Mitchell's attempt to project his idea of desperation, which involves teeth grinding and nostrils flaring, that Boggs has to reprimand us. Pull it together, 451.
Well.
But you can see him suppressing a smile as he's double-checking the next pod, positioning the hollow to find the best light in the smoky air, still facing us as his left foot steps back onto the orange paving stone, triggering the bomb that blows off his legs.
Well, that's an ending. That's she got you with the right there.
She got you with the bomb.
It's very dramatic.
And that is the end.
You know what you could also put there, but it would be a very different show. Oh boy.
And the title card is Boggs gets his legs glued on. Jesus Christ. Alright, then that is the end of chapter 19.
Yeah.
Chapter 20, Gus.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a light-hearted and cheery chapter? Do we think?
No. Yeah, no.
So.
No, it was all a dream.
You don't think it's going to be a light-hearted and fun, light, fluffy?
Well, I've read it. No.
All right, read us your notes.
Sure. Why not? May as well, when he makes her in charge. And then I wrote, Flubber! No!
Oh, yeah, evil flubber.
Evil flubber. Then I wrote, oh, well,
Suzanne Collins was like, I need something spooky. And then she got way too high watching Robin Williams movies.
And went, oh, shit.
I went, oh, fuck, I know what it is.
Murder goo.
Murder goo.
And I wrote, oh, no, yeah, that's like instant exsanguination.
Fun.
Because this guy gets razor wired. I saw a show once, a play, where they decided to have on stage a bed of nails, like all pointing up. And they were doing like gymnastics near the bed of nails.
Dangerous.
And I was like...
Were they real nails?
As far as I know, they were real nails. I looked at them, they looked sharp, and I was like, you shouldn't... If you fell on that, you'd die.
Every now and then, theater people need to go to jail.
Every now and again, it's like, did we think about this? Really? Did anybody check?
The
did anybody
stage
approve
manager
this?
did. The stage manager thought about it and was dismissed.
This was a bad idea. We shouldn't have done this.
The stage manager always thinks about it.
Then I wrote, Peter, calm down.
Mm.
Then I wrote, why are all these apartments empty? It's jarring to me
It
that
is weird.
the Capitol has been basically abandoned as far as I can tell. Where did everybody go?
It is weird, right?
Because they're fighting through the residential area and all the residential buildings and everything. I'm just like, they're all empty.
I don't know.
Where the fuck is everybody? Is there like a second Capitol underground? That doesn't make sense, but I guess it does actually, because District 13 apparently is 75 layers deep. Every time they bomb it, they just go down another layer.
I don't know. Where do you think they are?
Well, either they've fled, or they're all like holed up in the middle of the city, or Snow like killed everybody just to prove a point. I don't know.
Just cause?
Yeah.
He was like,
if
I can't have them, you can't.
This is my empire, and if you think you're going to take it away from me, tough tits, I'm just going to kill everybody. I don't know. Unlikely.
Good questions.
That
Good
seems like
questions.
some really evil shit.
It would be some really evil shit.
Yeah. Starts
on to
calling
the
himself the High
explosions.
King or some bullshit. Sorry, go ahead.
On to the explosion, guys.
Yeah. It's bad.
So laughter changes to screams.
Yeah, it'll
Blood
do that.
stains pastel stones. Real smoke darkens the special effects stuff made for television.
It'll do that. This is all terrible.
A second explosion seems to split the air and leaves my ears ringing.
This is also
but
bad.
I can't make out where it came from. I reach Boggs first, trying to make sense of the torn flesh, missing limbs, to find something to stem the red flow from his body. Holmes pushes me aside, wrenching open a first aid kit. That's going to help. Boggs...
Hey, look, you got...
Let's put a little... What are those band-aids? What are the...
Which...
Let's put a little Dora the Explorer band-aid on it. It'll be fine.
But listen, if you got a tourniquet on that quickly enough, you can survive losing a limb.
Totally you can. I'm just teasing. Just when I hear first aid kit, my immediate thought is like, the band-aids and thermometer we have in that one drawer. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, they're just like, ooh, it's a butterfly bandage. Huzzah!
Oh my God, butterfly bandages reminds me of this time. I was like, I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast before, but when I was about 6, I went through this phase where I thought if I saw something, I could probably do it, which I've never really grown out of as a concept. But I was watching, I think I was probably 6, and it was the Summer Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the diving, and my dad at the time, whenever he would visit, because my parents are divorced, we would stay at my uncle's house, and they had a pool with a diving board. And I thought, oh, I could totally do a backwards dive. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It looked easy on the TV.
This.
So I went, and my dad said it was like watching something happen in slow motion. I get on the diving board. I turn around. I jump off the diving board. Boom! I smack my chin on the frickin' diving board on the way down because I didn't jump out far enough. I get in to the water. Remember, I'm sitting on the bottom of the deep end. I'm looking up, and I'm just watching the blood drain from my chin.
Ew.
I think I was in some kind of shock.
Yeah.
Probably.
A little bit.
I was in a little shock.
A little bit. That'll do you.
A
That'll
little
do you.
stunned because I was just sitting there watching my blood leave my body.
You don't want that.
And my dad jumped in fully clothed, wallet, keys, phone. Phone?
When you were 6?
Probably not phone.
Probably not phone.
But what
Possible,
I remember
but
us
unlikely.
having to dry his dollar bills in the sun. I remember that.
That's really funny.
I remember us having to do this. So he gets in, he pulls me out. I'm dripping water and blood. He gets me into my uncle's kitchen, and I don't remember why, but he was like, we don't need to go to the emergency room, even though my chin's completely
Probably
open.
should have done that.
Definitely should have gotten stitches in retrospect.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you have a scar.
Oh, I have like a huge scar on the bottom of my chin. But he like looked at it and he was like, well, I can't see like very well into it. And he was like, but I think you're fine. And he was like, okay. So he grabs like my uncle's first aid kit, which of course has like 4 things in it. Right. So he takes all these butterfly bandages and he just creates this like little cast around my chin. I think I maybe have told this story before.
You have, but it's always fascinating.
He created this little cast on the bottom of my chin, and my kindergarten photos are like me in this little white cast. I gotta find a picture on my chin. Anyway, it was super cute. I had like big bug glasses and like this plastered white chin bandage mess on my face. Very cute. Anyway, but Boggs has his legs fucking blown off, which is a very different deal.
It's bad.
That you should definitely go to a doctor about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide how much of this to like get into.
We don't need to. Yeah.
Phoenix attempting to revive Masala, who was thrown against a wall by the explosion.
Somebody gets sucked into the net.
Hold on, I'm not there yet.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, they do.
The dog is wagging his tail in his sleep
It's so
very,
cute.
very loudly.
It's so cute. He's so happy.
Yeah.
As a child watching my mother work, I learned that once a pool of blood has reached a certain size, there's no going back.
Yes.
That's true. Unless you've got more blood.
Well, yeah. But somebody gets caught in the net, right?
I kneel beside Boggs. Hold on. I'm getting there. I kneel beside Boggs, prepared to repeat the role I played with Rue, with the morphling from Six.
Oh, right. But he's like, listen up.
Giving him someone to hold on to as he's released from life.
He's like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time. I got to convert this fucking nightshade bomb, because we have one rallying cry here in the rebellion, and it's nightshade. I got to convert this to be voice activated by you. You're in charge now. Fuck everybody. Coin sucks ass, and I hate her.
Yeah.
Deal with this.
But Boggs has both hands working the hollow. What a badass. He's typing in a command, pressing his thumb to the screen for print recognition, speaking a string of letters and numbers in response to a prompt. A green shaft of light bursts out of the hollow and illuminates his face. And I just accidentally closed the book.
Very dramatic. Very dramatic time to close the book.
He says, unfit for command. Transfer of prime security clearance to squad 451. Soldier Katniss Everdeen. It's all he can do to turn the hollow toward my face. Say your name. Katniss Everdeen. I say into the green shaft. Nice.
Hey, come on. Oh,
I had to break the tension.
Yeah.
Suddenly it has me trapped in its light.
Yeah.
I can't move or even blink as images flicker rapidly before me.
It's very
scanning
dramatic.
me, recording me, blinding me. Probably that one. It vanishes. And I shake my head to clear it. What did you do? Phoenix yelling something back, gesturing to the end of the block where we entered. Black, oily matter spouts like a geyser from the street.
Oh, yeah, evil
billowing
flubber.
Between the buildings, creating an impenetrable wall of darkness.
Evil flubber.
It seems to be neither liquid nor gas.
Yeah, it's
mechanical nor natural.
It's alive.
Surely it's
not.
lethal.
It's flubber.
There's no heading back the way we came. It's like if Flubber and Venom had a baby.
Yeah. Oof.
Deafening gunfire as Gale and League One begin to blast a path across the stones toward the far end of the back of the block.
I keep trying to get more into Marvel comics. Speaking of Venom, I never really know where to start, because I read the Infinity Saga, I read Infinity War, and I read Infinity Gauntlet, and I read Infinity... whatever the sequel is after Infinity War, because it goes Gauntlet, then War. I don't remember. It's the one with the goddess in it. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to start. Someone told me to do House of M, but it's pretty dark. Marvel comics get dark as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I don't know what they're doing until another bomb 10 yards away detonates, opening a hole in the street. Then I realize this is a rudimentary attempt at minesweeping. Holmes and I latch onto Boggs and begin to drag him after Gale. Agony takes over and he's crying out in pain, and I want to stop, to find a better way. But the blackness is rising above the buildings, swelling, rolling at us like a wave. I'm yanked backward, lose my grip on Boggs, slam into the stones. Peeta looks down at me, gone, mad, flashing back into the land of the hijacked. His gun raised over me, descending to crush my skull. I roll, hear the butt slam into the street, catch the tumble of bodies out of the corner of my eye as Mitchell tackles PETA and pins him to the ground. But PETA, always so powerful and now fueled by the tracker-jacker insanity, gets his feet under Mitchell's belly and launches him farther down the block. There's a loud snap of a trap as the pod triggers. 4 cables attached to tracks on the buildings break through the stones, dragging up the net that encases Mitchell. Ugh. It makes no sense how instantly bloodied he is.
Yeah,
until we see
gone.
the barb sticking from the wire that encases it.
It's not good. He's done.
I know it immediately. It decorated the top of the fence around 12.
Yeah, it's not good. That's not what you want out of your day. This is bad.
As I call to him not to move, I gag on the smell of the blackness. Thick, tar-like. The wave has crusted and begun to fall. Gale and League shoot through the front door lock of the corner building, then begin to fire at the cables holding Mitchell's net. Others are restraining PETA now. I lunge back to Boggs, and Holmes and I drag him inside the apartment, though someone's pink and white velvet living room, and down a hallway hung with family photos, onto the marble floor of a kitchen, where we collapse. Past Castor and Pollux carry in a writhing PETA between them. Somehow Jackson gets cuffs on him, but it only makes him wilder, and they're forced to lock him in a closet.
Very
so
dramatic.
People enter, Finnick carries Masala, League, and Cressida stumble into the room after them coughing. Gale! I shriek. He's there, slamming the kitchen door shut behind him, choking out one word, fumes. Castor and Pollux grab towels, aprons,
Flubber
to stuff
fumes.
in the cracks, as Gale retches into a bright yellow sink.
Yeah.
It's just like that guy in that one lecture hall, you know, where you're like, you had a little too much to talk about, didn't you,
It's
buddy?
not what you want, boss.
And now I'm trapped with you for an hour.
Uh-uh.
Bog forces the hollow into my hand. His lips are moving, but I can't make out what he's saying. I lean my ear down to his mouth and catch his harsh whisper. Don't trust them. Don't go back. Kill PETA. Do what you came to do.
All right, bud. Maybe we tone it down just a couple notches.
That's a lot.
Just 1 or 2.
And he dies.
I get what you're coming from here, but
And
like
Finnick's
roll
we
it
gotta
back a
get the
smidge.
Fuck out of here.
Finnick, my guy. Didn't think I'd be saying that, but here we are.
It's called development.
Growth.
Okay, so Boggs had transferred the power to Katniss, and Katniss is trying to figure out what the hell he means by don't trust them.
Yeah, that's a good question, because it probably means... Because he seems pretty anti-coin. It seems reasonable to assume it's coin, and Suze doesn't usually trick me, or try to trick me. Sometimes I trick myself.
Mm-hmm.
I overthink, and then I feel like a putz.
Yeah. And Katniss claims to them that she's on a special mission for President Coin.
You're not, but this is smart. This is clever. This will work. This is going to do it. This is going to do it.
To assassinate President Snow before the loss of life from this war makes our population unsustainable.
They keep bringing that up.
And Jackson says, I don't believe you. As your current commander, I order you to transfer the prime security clearance over to me. And she says, no. That would be in direct violation of President Coin's orders. Guns are pointed, half the squad at Jackson, half at me.
Dramatic.
Someone's about to die when Cressida speaks up. It's true. That's why we're here. Plutarch wants it televised. He thinks if we can film the Mockingjay assassinating Snow, it will end the war.
She's clever. She's on the ball. I don't know why she's going with this, but I'm happy about it.
And Jackson wants to know why PETA's there then.
Well, well, why not? He's just a little guy. He's not. He's actually like an incredibly buff baker.
Yeah, but also he's baby. It's
both. It's 6 of one,
both.
half a dozen of the other.
You know what? He's a flower baby.
Yeah.
What?
Anytime you got to think about something, I assume you're trying to find a way to sneak a spoiler past me.
No, I was just at a loss for words.
Bullshit.
Because you're so beautiful.
Oh, stop.
Oh,
stop.
so cute. Okay.
So they kind of hunker down for a while.
Wait, but she comes up with a good excuse for why PETA's there. She says, because the 2 post-game interviews with Caesar Flickerman were shot in President Snow's personal quarters. Plutarch thinks PETA may be of some use as a guide in a location we have little knowledge of. Oh, that was Cressida, but whatever. I'm not going back.
Sure. Okay.
So they're figuring stuff out.
It's just when, because PETA kind of comes back to his senses, and then he's like, y'all should kill me. And Gale is like, I volunteer as tribute, but not actually. Is that when this happens, or does some other shit happen first?
Some other shit happens first.
I've kind of lost the differentiation between these 2 chapters. They end in the sewers?
So they decide that they're going to go back out to where the goo is, out of hope that the goo killed some more of
yeah.
the booby traps.
Which it did, probably.
And covered the cameras.
And it also solidified into flubber.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they have to leave because they know that the Capitol will come and check to see
if they're dead.
And they do, but they don't check. They just shell the building.
Yeah.
So they have to flee before they shell the building because they know, like, well, the Capitol's going to get like, oh, every single trap on this street triggered. They're going to come check it out. They're going to have camera footage that they know it's us. They're going to check back. But yeah, they're going to come take a look and see what's going on.
Yeah, there's like a loud tremor that was 4 or 5 blocks away where they left Boggs.
Shame.
And then this emergency broadcast happens for...
So, wait, they've already left. They've gone.
Yeah, they've gone.
Okay,
I said they went out the same way that they came in.
Has PETA not volunteered to die yet?
Not that I can see. But yeah, so like an emergency Capitol broadcast happens, and there's a whole... Oh, there we are on screen, just after the bomb took out Boggs. A voiceover tells the audience that they are viewing what they are viewing as we try to regroup, react to the black gel shooting from the street, lose control of the situation. We watch the chaos that follows until the wave blots out the cameras. The last thing we see is Gale alone on the street trying to shoot through the cables that hold Mitchell aloft.
Good for you. Not going to work.
The reporter identifies Gale, Finnick, Boggs, PETA, Cressida, and me by name. Yeah, and there's no aerial footage, which is important. Coverage continues from the courtyard behind the apartment where we took shelter. Peacekeepers line the roof across from our former hideout. Shells are launched into the row of apartments, setting off the chain of explosions we heard, and the building collapses into rubble and dust. And you just know that the people who are not there watching this feed are like, fuck, that's my house. Now we cut to a live feed. A reporter stands on the roof with the peacekeepers. Behind her, the apartment block burns. The block? Fuck.
Look, they were taking no chances, and yet they still fucked up.
Firefighters try to control the blaze with water hoses. We are pronounced dead, which they consider to be lucky. But I just keep imagining how this will be playing back in 13, where my mother and Prim, Hazel and the kids, Annie, Haymitch, and a whole lot of people from 13 think that they've just seen us die.
Don't worry, it's gonna be just fine. Don't worry about it. It's all fine. It's gonna be fine. Shit's all gonna work out. We watch as they play the footage over and over again. Revel in their victory, especially over me. Break away to do a montage of the Mockingjay's rise to rebel power. I think they've had this part prepared for a while because it seems pretty polished. And then they go live to a couple of reporters. So a couple of reporters can discuss my well-deserved violent end. Yeah, well. Later, they promise Snow will make an official statement. The screen fades back into a glow. She can shoot him. She can snipe him during the official. Very dramatic. Maybe, the rebels made no attempt to break in during the broadcast, which leads me to believe they think it's true. If that's so, we're really on our own. So now that we're dead, what's our next move? Asks Gale. Isn't it obvious? No one even knew PETA had regained consciousness. I don't know how long he's been watching, but by the look of misery on his face, long enough to see what happened on the street, how he went mad, tried to bash my head in, and hurled Mitchell into the pod. He painfully pushes himself up into a sitting position and directs his words to Gale. Our next move is to kill me. It works. Why does it work every fucking chapter?
What?
It works every chapter. It doesn't really, because it's a completely different tone from what that show goes for.
That was ridiculous.
Look. PETA, you're going to be okay. You're not going to be good, but you're going to be okay.
Incredible.
I'm just saying. It's going to work out for you.
Oh, my darling. That was funny. All right. Chapter 21.
Yes.
And that was the end of chapter 20. Chapter 21, guys.
Yes, I don't have any notes for this one.
All right. That makes 2 requests for PETA's death in less than an hour.
Fucking funny.
Don't be ridiculous, says Jackson. I just murdered a member of our squad, shouts PETA. You pushed him off you. You couldn't have known he would trigger the net at that exact spot, says Finnick, trying to calm him down. Who cares? He's dead, isn't he? Tears begin to run down PETA's face. I didn't know. I've never seen myself like that before. Katniss is right. I'm the monster. I'm the mutt. I'm the one Snow has turned into a weapon.
Well, I'm glad he's cognizant of this, but also the solution here is not murder the boy.
It's not your fault, Peeta, says Finnig. You can't take me with you. It's only a matter of time before I kill someone else. Maybe you think it's kinder to just dump me somewhere, let me take my chances, but that's the same thing as handing me over to the capital. Do you think you'd be doing me a favor by sending me back to Snow? Peeta, back in Snow's hands, tortured and tormented until no bits of his former self will ever emerge again. For some reason, the last stanza to The Hanging Tree starts running through my head.
Oh,
the
good.
one where the man wants his lover dead rather than have her face the evil that awaits her in the world.
Good. This is good. By the way, you know, I found don't worry, it's spoiler free. I found like a fan track that you can sing The Hanging Tree to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you want to hear what it sounds like?
Yeah.
It wasn't funny. I'm going to cut it.
No, don't cut it. I hate you so much. I hate you so much. I totally bought it.
You bought that?
Yes, of course I did.
She's trying to tickle me. Okay.
I totally bought that.
Why would you listen? Why would you believe anything I ever say on this podcast? That's your first mistake.
That's true.
I'm just full of bullshit all the time.
That's why I didn't laugh, because I couldn't believe that you got me so hard. I didn't laugh not because it wasn't funny. I didn't laugh because I was like, fuck. Because you made me such a patsy. Yeah. So anyway, Gale helpfully chimes in, I'll kill you before that happens.
Thanks, boss.
I promise.
Thanks, boss.
I long for blood.
I would like that. We could both have a great night. Oh, boy.
I'll sack your flower. What?
What? I'll sack your flower.
I meant it to be like a murder pun, but it was really
I mean, that's better. That's better than I'll flower your sack, I guess.
Flower your sack.
Anyway, they're children. Moving on.
Okay. So Peeta says, it's no good. What if you're not here to do it? I want one of those poison pills like the rest of you have. Nightlock. There's one pill back at camp, in its special slot on the sleeve of my Mockingjay suit. But there's another, in the breast pocket of my uniform. Interesting that they didn't issue one to Peeta. Perhaps Coin thought he might take it before he had the opportunity to kill me. It's unclear if Peeta means he'd finish himself off now, or spare us having to murder him, or only if the capital took him prisoner again. In the state he's in, I expect it would be sooner rather than later. It would certainly make things easier on the rest of us, not to have to shoot him. It would certainly simplify the problem of dealing with his homicidal episodes.
Yeah, but then you've killed the bread boy, and then Gus has to cry and put the book in the freezer for the rest of time.
Are they going to kill the bread boy, Gus? Everyone would be like, why do you have a copy of Mockingjay in your freezer? And I'd be like, Gus is still recovering.
It stays there forever.
I'd be like, we would love to finish our episodes of the Hunger Games, but Gus won't take the book out of the freezer and won't purchase another one because we're on a book buying embargo.
Kind of, yeah, because we have too many books.
Well, it's yes, and also for budgetary reasons.
It's both.
We realized we spent a lot of money on books recently.
Please help me budget. My family is dying, and it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't spend this much money on books, you buffoon. Rent, books, $10,000. Please help me budget. Spend less on books? No.
Please help. My family is dying.
I think that's a drill Twitter post. I'm paraphrasing badly, but
how satisfying, how entertaining it would be for Snow to have me kill him, to have Peeta's death on my conscience for whatever is the left of my life.
I mean, that's kind of what he's going for.
For whatever is left of my life. That's what I meant to say.
I got you.
It's not about you. He said that so bishy. It's not about you.
Ugh.
We're on a mission, and you're necessary to it. That's what Katniss says. And that's Katniss's voice now. Okay.
Okay, great. All right. Yeah, well, here we go. It's going to make the end really interesting.
Bang, bang. Shoot Mr. Snow in the head. Anyway, what?
What is going on?
Shoot. Next time, Daddy Snow.
Nope. Hate it. Hate it.
Every rose has its thorn, Daddy Snow. What?
Can we never call him Daddy Snow again, please?
Now all I'm going to do is call him Daddy Snow.
No. In the Wheel of Time, we have Daddy Dark One, and now we've got Daddy Snow. This is great.
Snow.
We have an episode called Daddy Dark One's Thigh Rub, I think. What the fuck?
I believe that was all me.
That was all you.
That was all me.
I say weird out-of-pocket bullshit, too, but...
Yeah, I don't know why you're criticizing me as if you... You know what? The Hunger Games deserves more respect than the two of us. Oh, there's a bunch of hoarding in the house that they're in. They're like hoarding a bunch of shit.
Yeah, which is lucky because then they can have dinner.
Yeah, but they're like, they think it's super gross that they're hoarding. We're passing around a box of fancy cream-filled cookies. Oreos.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I bet it is.
I bet they're Oreos.
This podcast is brought to you by Oreos. Oreos, they're the fucking shit. Have you tried the gluten-free version? Anyway.
They're pretty good.
The seal of Panem lights up on the screen and remains there while the anthem plays, and then they begin to show images of the dead, just as they did with the tributes in the arena. They start with the 4 faces of our TV crew, followed by Boggs, Gale, Finnick, Peta, and me. Except for Boggs, they don't bother with the soldiers from 13 either, because they have no idea who they are, or because they know they won't mean anything to the audience. Then the man himself appears, seated at his desk, a flag draped behind him, just a theater kid.
Because I've had enough of this dude.
The fresh white rose gleaming in his lapel. I think he might have recently had more work done because his lips are puffier than usual.
This dude.
Nothing wrong with getting work done.
No.
If that's what makes you happy, but don't do it for anyone but yourself.
Yeah.
And his prep team really needs to use a lighter hand with his blush. That's is something
funny.
You probably should avoid doing.
That is pretty funny, actually.
The snow congratulates Daddy Snow congratulates the peacekeepers on a masterful job, honors them for ridding the country of the menace called the Mockingjay. With my death, he predicts a turning of the tide in the war, since the demoralized rebels have no one left to follow. And what was I really? A poor, unstable girl with a small talent with a bow and arrow. Not a great thinker, not the mastermind of the rebellion. Merely a face plucked from the rebel because I had caught the nation's attention with my antics in the games. But necessary, so very necessary, because the rebels have no real leader among them. Somewhere in District 13, BT hits a switch, because now it's not President Snow, but President Coin who's looking at us. She introduces herself to Panem, identifies herself as the head of the rebellion, and then gives my eulogy. Hilarious.
Very, very funny.
Praise for the girl who survived the siege and the Hunger Games, then turned a country of slaves into an army of freedom fighters. Dead or alive, Katniss Everdeen will remain the face of this rebellion. If ever you waver in your resolve, think of the Mockingjay, and in her you will find the strength you need to rid Panem of its oppressors. I had no idea how much I meant to her. Which brings a laugh from Gale and questioning looks from the others. Up comes a heavily doctored photo of me looking beautiful and fierce with a bunch of flames flickering behind me. No words, no slogan. My face is all they need now. BT gives the reins back to a very controlled Snow. I have the feeling the president thought the emergency channel was impenetrable, and someone will end up dead tonight because it was breached.
Well, oh well.
Tomorrow morning, when we pull Katniss Everdeen's body from the ashes, you will see exactly who the Mockingjay is.
You think you're going to do that, huh? You think so?
A dead girl who could save no one.
You'd think, but you'd be wrong.
Not even herself. Seal, anthem, and out.
Very predictable, this guy.
Except that you won't find her, says Finnick to the empty screen, voicing what we're all probably thinking. The grace period will be brief. Once they dig through those ashes and come up missing 11 bodies, they'll know we escaped. So she has Jackson walk her through the hollow, and the number of pods has noticeably increased around them because they must be moving toward the closer to the crucial targets. And she's worried they're trapped.
Well, there are traps, yes.
Yeah, so they said the street's not a possibility. The rooftops are just as bad. They have a chance to withdraw, but that would mean a failed mission. A pang of guilt hits me since I've fabricated said mission. It was never intended for all of us to go forward. You just had the misfortune to be with me. And they decide that they have one option. Underground. Underground, which I hate. Like mines and tunnels and 13, underground, where I dread dying, which is stupid because even if I die above ground, the next thing they'll do is bury me underground anyway. The holo can show subterranean as well as street-level pods. I see that when we go underground, the clean, dependable lines of the street plan are interlaced with the twisting, turning mess of tunnels. The pods look less numerous, though. So they hide the fact that they've been there, and PETA refuses to go. And Finnick says, Snow's people will find you. And PETA says, then leave me the pill. I'll only take it if I have to.
Very dramatic.
Katniss, please, don't you see? I want to be out of this. The trouble is, I do see. Why can't I just let him go? Slip him a pill, pull the trigger because you love him. Is it because I care too much about PETA? Yes. Or too much about letting Snow win?
You should, kinda.
Have I turned him into a piece in my private games? No.
No.
That's despicable. But I'm not sure it's beneath me. If it's true, it would be kindness to kill PETA here and now. But for better or worse, I'm not motivated by kindness.
Well, it's not going to work out so much. You're not going to be able to do that. He's a guy you care about. And, I get it. But,
So, they decide not to free PETA's hands.
Sure.
PETA doesn't want them to free his hands.
Sure. Middle ground. This is a good middle ground between murder and letting him run around free.
Right. But Katniss is like, I want the key, though.
All right. Well, okay.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is fair since he's really trying to kill her.
Yeah, okay.
Pollux, pale and sweaty, reaches out and latches onto Castor's wrist. Like he might fall over if there isn't someone to steady him.
I like these two.
And Castor explains that his brother worked down there after he became an A-bot.
Ah, very bleak, very upsetting, very dark. Literally, it's underground.
And it took 5 years before they were able to buy his way up to ground level. Didn't see the sun once. For 5 years? Isn't there some kind of disease you could get?
Vitamin D deficiency. I know all about those.
But PETA turns to Pollux and says, well, then you've just become our most valuable asset.
This motherfucker's funny as shit. Look at him lightening the mood right after being like, y'all should murder me.
Right?
This guy.
Do you love PETA, Gus?
This guy is the MVP.
Gus,
you know what I would?
PETA?
You know what I'm not gonna say about him?
Because I've had enough of this dude.
Not a chance. Maybe eventually watch me eat my words in a chapter and a half when he is the worst. But why do I get my hopes up?
Oh, honey.
I'm joking. I'm having a great
fun
time.
Book.
It is. I'm actually loving it.
So they go through the tunnels and everything's going fine. Pollux insists on standing guard, but mostly because he can't sleep down there.
Seems fair.
And as they get close to the capital, more pods are registering.
Because it's getting more and more intense. Now, I do, again, find myself wondering where the fuck everybody is.
Oh, Katniss shares some food with PETA. And she says, PETA, when you asked about what happened to Darius and Lavinia, and Boggs told you it was real, you said you thought so. Because there was nothing shiny about it. What did you mean? Oh, I don't know exactly how to explain it. In the beginning, everything was just complete confusion. Now I can sort certain things out. I think there's a pattern emerging. The memories they altered with the Tracker Jacker venom have this strange quality about them. Like they're too intense, or the images aren't stable. You remember what it was like when we were stung? Trees shattered. There were giant colored butterflies, and I fell in a pit of orange bubbles. Shiny orange bubbles. Right. But nothing about Darius or Lavinia was like that. I don't think they'd given me any venom yet. Well, that's good, isn't it? If you can separate the two, then you can figure out what's true. Yes, and if I could grow wings, I could fly.
He's fucking funny as shit, man.
Only people can't grow wings. Real or not real? Real. But people don't need wings to survive. Mockingjays do.
Oh.
So he goes to sleep. Slowly, as I would with a wounded animal, my hand stretches out and brushes a wave of hair from his forehead. He freezes at my touch, but doesn't recoil. So I continue to gently smooth back his hair. It's the first time I have voluntarily touched him since the last arena. You're still trying to protect me. Real or not real? Real. Because that's what you and I do. Protect each other. Then he goes to sleep. Shortly before 7, Pollux and I move among the others, rousing them. There are the usual yawns and sighs that accompany waking, but my ears are picking up something else too. Almost like a hissing. Perhaps it's only steam escaping a pipe or a far-off whoosh of one of the trains.
This is weird.
I hush the group to get a better read on it. There's a hissing, yes, but it's not one extended sound. More like multiple exhalations that form words.
Multiple what?
Exhalations.
I mean, I'm in for exaltations too. It's just different series.
Exhalations is what I said, though. A single word echoing throughout the tunnels. One word. One name. Repeated over and over again.
Katniss. Dramatic. Exciting.
You stole my dramatic Katniss.
Well,
no, it's okay. I love it. You were good.
It's a good time, you know.
Wait, you do it again. Do it again.
Katniss.
Ooh, that was good. That was really good.
Thank you. I try.
And that is the end of chapter 21.
Oh my God. Now, unfortunately, I understand that we're not letting Gus, it is not Wheel of Time to finish the book.
It is not.
Is it Wheel of Time to have Gus read some and then we do live reactions and we do the whole thing as finale? Or is it Wheel of Time to have Gus read and then we do another episode? I don't know why I've stuck on this one joke. And then we listen. Because you want to do live reaction for like the last 3 chapters plus epilogue, right? For patrons?
Well, hold on. Yeah. What? Hold on. Why does this go from 24 to 27? Are you seeing this? See 24?
Oh, shit. Wait, do the page numbers?
This is a misprint.
Check the page numbers.
30. 24 is 330, and then it goes straight to 363.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. We have a misprinted copy.
We have a misprint. Oh, wait. You see that, though? There's 24.
Is it printed at the back?
No,
it reprints.
Again, and then it goes
shit.
Weirdly back to 299.
Yeah, they reprinted. They printed it with a misprinted sheath. Oh, that's so cool. Well, maybe we have to lift the book buying ban. But actually, I have the ebook. But, oh, man. Oh, that's bonkers.
Yeah. Because I was sitting there going, what in the Alice in Wonderland is going on?
Oh, we have a misprint.
That's so funny. Well, good thing we figured that out
that would have been
you started
weird
messing around with it. You might have read something you shouldn't.
That would have been bad.
Here's the plan for the rest of the book. Okay? We're going to do chapters 22 through 24. So that's 3 chapters. That's our next episode, which you will read on your own.
Okay. I will read it on my own. Wailing, gnashing of teeth, etc.
Yes. Then, for our patrons, our $5 and over patrons. $10 and over patrons. My apologies. For our $10 and over patrons, we will do live reactions. One single live reaction to chapters 25 through the end.
Yeah. At some point. Probably like next weekend? I'm assuming?
Like not this upcoming,
but next? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that seems right. That's the plan.
Oh, joy.
And then we are done with Mockingjay.
And then
we take
on
a
to
week
something
off.
else.
No, we do Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
We've also discussed starting ACOTAR early and possibly doing both of those because we're not busy enough.
We're not busy enough.
Because I'm excited to read ACOTAR because of reasons. The more I see about ACOTAR in the fantasy sphere, the more, frankly, men I see who seem to be reading it. Not all y'all, don't worry. I'm not talking about you specifically if you're listening, almost definitely. But the more I see, like, fantasy adjacent men who have decided to, like, read it seemingly for the primary purpose of shitting on it on the internet, and that makes me angry. And I don't want to do that, and I want to hopefully counter that a little bit by actually, giving this series a fair shake.
Yeah, and there are certainly critiques about ACOTAR that I think are valid.
Chances are, if you're listening to this podcast, I'm not talking about you, so don't worry.
Yeah, but there's certainly valid critiques, and we'll totally talk about those and get to those. I feel concerned, though, about the amount of men who seem to just enjoy shitting on something that women like and are marketed toward women and is made by a woman. Just kind of creeps me out.
Yeah, I'm just excited to read it.
I'm like, what is wrong with a book that is a fantasy book with a little sex in it that is like not rapey?
One of the bigger things that has me excited for it is that you picked up ACOTAR, I don't know, 4 months ago, and you've since read all of it, and you're finishing Throne of Glass, and you've got Crescent City lined up, and I've not seen you so excited about a writer's work. So like a specific, like, oh my God, I have to consume everything this writer has written in a long time. Yeah. So I'm like, if something can get Allie that excited, it's gotta be good. And I want to experience it with you. More than anything else, it's that.
I think it is one of the most profound gifts that life can offer you, that you have a partner that is excited about exploring something you're excited about, whether it's for them or not. Just that you have a partner that will approach it with love and respect because they have love and respect for you. That is a beautiful, profound gift that I really appreciate you giving me. So thank you.
Well, thanks for introducing me to the series. I'm excited to read it.
I think it'll be fun. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. And I think you're going to have opinions.
I'm sure I will, but I think we're probably doing Ballad first, maybe. But I don't know. I kind of want to start these series because you're about to finish them, and it seems like the right time to start.
You know, we can talk about how realistic it is for us to try and do an episode or two of ACOTAR while we do Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I think that's valid. I would love to get done with Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by the time the movie comes out because I think it would be really... What? That didn't happen.
Yeah.
We panicked.
That happens.
Yeah. By the time, I don't know, is the thing.
Arbitrary random deadline because of things. Anyway, yeah. But hey,
yeah.
I like Mockingjay. It's sad and it makes me sad, but it's also happy, but mostly sad. This book is actually far and away the saddest so far.
Yeah.
Like Hunger Games was bleak in a very gray and depressing and even way. And then Catching Fire kind of had some uplifting moments. And this one so far is just like, I'm lying in the mud and people are breaking my legs with sledgehammers.
Legs? Triggered.
Oh, God. Well, so, yeah, but I'm excited to read more. I bet it's going to be terrible and I'm going to have a terrible time. I'm going to yell a lot. So
Probably.
That'll be fun.
Join us next week for chapters 22 through 24 and see if we have any fun at all.
Yeah. Do you want to do the outro?
Thank you so much, everyone. This has been Wheel Takes Podcast. If you want to get in touch with us, we have social media listed below. You can also leave us a rating or a review if you want to support us that way. It's super, super helpful. We also have a Patreon, which is also a great way to support us and help us continue to do what we're doing. Anything else, Gus?
This whispering in the tone, it's just Gollum. He just wants to play a little game.
Is Katniss my precious? Oh,
well,
that was
she's
horrid.
somebody's.
That was horrid. Can you do a better one?
No.
My precious. That wasn't too bad.
No, whatever. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye.